if you augment a reality, this is one step closer to a virtual reality if you didn't know what an augmentation is. The easiest thing to do is to mistake what is a modification for a augmentation. If you modify something, you're taking a part, having a part be put in. And if we want to talk about implants, they are something out of this world because they aren't a part of it. In referencing back to what augmenting is, I still haven't put my finger on it because it is that controversial. But I'll have you note a bit. Here's one bit. You don't even have a motor cart. I've got a motor cart. It's right here. That's all. That's the end scene. And so a augmentation. If you've got a connector or a splitter, these are things that are not end pieces. And so an end piece would be like a cornucopia. That would be a centerpiece. The end pieces at the end table, at the ends of the table, is where the patriarchs sit, the hierarchies. So not to be confused with like a centerpiece and two end pieces. It's always the end pieces that get all the glory. It was the, and please excuse my French, the house workers look better than the field workers. And it was always this way. So if you're going to be having squishy tech, I read about this in a magazine so I can talk about it because it's already been published. Squishy tech is this phenomenon of these instrumentations that are being put into a body, and so that you don't feel uncomfortable with them because your body's innards are squishy other than bones, but they're used to bone beside the squish. And so it's the same thing where if you wear a necklace, like a choker necklace, you forget it's there after a minute because it feels like it's a part of you because it's so close. The same can be said with this squishy tech. You would make it think that it's part of your bones or a ligament that's gone rogue. And so you forget about it. That's one way in doing it. The other way is to have like these corners that are really sharp, like a microchip, and you put that in you. Excuse me. And so that your body would think that it's a gland that has just been calcified or hardened and gone rogue. Or a piece of plastic, all these microplastics in you. Your body would get confused that it's one of them and learn to subside to it. And this is what it means when cells give up. They subside to something like that. These words, anguish, delinquish. So there's these words. And so if you're using up these connector bits, like from your aorta to your esophagus, these parts between, where someone would explain that they swallowed a jelly bean and it went down the wrong pipe. And I was just praying, I hope it's not a black one because you'll be inhaling a black flavored air jelly bean until it dissolves. No, but all seriousness, the passage of between your air pipe, your windpipe, and your throat is like a tiny corner where that corner is a connecting feature. And if this connecting feature and all the connecting features of your body get used up, let me get an example. I quit smoking because my lungs are damaged worse than my liver. A liver takes intoxicants of pick your poison, whether pills or drinking, shooting, snorting. There's so many ways to put poison into your body, but it ends up in your liver. So my liver ain't that bad, but my lungs have been shot. So by quitting smoking, it's saving an arm and a leg, so to speak. But the main point in case would be if in outer space they're having these organ harvestings, which will be a thing in the future, to keep replacing them. Smoke so much, I should have had 4 lungs. Well, in the future, you will have replacements for these things. But if you keep replacing these things, it would be the connectors that start wearing and tearing. And it could be from these implants of squishy tech being put in. So if you got 2 end caps or replacements and the squishy tech put in, again, it's the connectors that we wear, and that's what, to me, augmentation is virtually the definition thereof. Okay, excuse me, I gotta go to the Lutheran church. If someone says they want to augment something, it could mean on paper there's a metric, but it's not met in contempt until it's addressed head on. This is the great divide between corporate, and is why I think PR firms are funny on their face. The outreach that's important. It's to question a putantid. If you spit polish something, but then you're saying, no, I want to spit clean it, it was not spit polished. It's at a point where you don't need to be politically correct when there's something so pesky. And I think that this is where it's going, with devaluing things, what isn't liquidating. And I'd like to touch upon also how my brake on my bike is like rubbing up on the wheel. And so I have 2 choices: to realign the bike or just keep riding it until the brake shoe wears enough where it's not frictioning on it. A right way and a wrong way to do things. But it's me, I'm the beneficiary of the bike, it's my asset, so I get to choose which one to do. And this is the choice of augmentation. It's you get the choice to do something, but when it's a public health crisis because immune systems are being compromised, and with what that might mean, the advocacy to take the reins in bending the curb. And this is where drug companies are now the czars of like what a sidewalk is. And so if you've never had a stay-at-home order, I think that would be something where the question of a compromised immune system, and then who the Pentagon chooses to handle that issue would be a company. And so if that company is accompanied with squishy tech, well, now you've got the straw man dressed up as a red herring, and they're both being used as one. Augmenting either of those as a choice